This video is part 2 of the greatest top 10 cars that competed in the IMSA sanctioned series. The IMSA cars of all time define the success of victories and championships. You may know that there have been tons of race cars that competed in IMSA since 1969. It can be very difficult to choose the best top 10 IMSA cars that were victorious. This video follows up on part 1 with some interesting cars that took part in the American Le Mans series, IMSA GTO, Group C, etc. So if you did not already watch the first one, the link to it is in the description to check it out. Let's start the countdown. Number 10. Jaguar XJR5. Jaguar retired from endurance racing in the 1950s but came back again in the 80s with Bob Tullius in his American Group 44 team. The XJR5 was designed, developed, and built by the factory team and was the first Grand Touring prototype Jaguar to hit the track, competing in both IMSA and World Endurance Championship. After the car completed a lot of testing, it was already a beast before it even raced. The XJR5 debuted in 1982 and was fast right away against Porsche and other GTPs in the field. Its best season was 1983 when Tullius finished second in the GTP standings, being beaten only by the March 83G race car. Jaguar achieved 4 race wins in its debut season. The XJR5 continued racing until 1985 and won 12 times throughout 3 seasons, proving to be the best contender for the Porsche 962 in IMSA. After this car, Jaguar turned to Tom Walkinshaw Racing to develop, build, and campaign the XJR prototypes. Number 9. Orca Viper GTS-R. Orca is a French team that factory ran the Chrysler Dodge Viper in the FIA GT Championship and the American Le Mans Series. The Orca Vipers first raced in 1995 and then began to make groundbreaking history in 1997 onwards. The Viper would take home a whopping 3 championship wins in FIA GT in 1997, 1998, and 1999. For 1999, Orca's efforts were expanded further as the team operated in the American Le Mans Series with the red and white striped Dodge Viper. It was a deadly force against Porsche and Corvette in its GTS class for 2 seasons. From 1999 and 2000, the Orca Viper secured a total of 16 wins, 2 American Le Mans Series titles, and only lost twice to the factory Corvette C5R. The Orca Viper won 3 times at Le Mans from 1998 to 2000. It also was the first American-based production car to win at Rolex Daytona in 2000, including a 1-2-3 finish at Sebring. It's forever a rare home run for the Dodge marketing team in terms of the US coverage of the GTS-R program. Number 8. Mazda RX7 IMSA GTU. In 1979, Mazda decided to put in a factory effort with their RX7 GTU race car in the IMSA GT Championship. GTU was a class for production-based cars to run under 2.5-liter engine displacement. Mazda hired some guys from a company Racing Beat to build them a 2-rotor naturally aspirated engine that made over 250 horsepower at 9,500 RPM. Mazda debuted the RX-7 at the 24 Hours of Daytona in 1979 and not only qualified their 2 cars first and second in class, but they also won their class and finished 5th and 6th overall. The RX-7 quickly became a dominant force throughout the IMSA GT Championship, with both reliability and speed and often taking podium finishes. From 1980 to 1987, Mazda clinched the Constructors' title for the first time and won the GTU Drivers' title 7 straight times, including 7 times at Daytona. The small rotary engine RX-7 proved it could keep up and beat the big boys. In 1990, Mazda won the GTU title one more time with the factory-backed MX-6. And by then, Mazda switched its focus from GTU to GTO class. This resulted the RX-7 GTO saw some success taking 3rd in the championship, although the following year in 1991 brought Mazda's final victory in IMSA. Number 7. Audi 90 Quattro IMSA GTO. The race car shared a few features with the production Audi 90 with the Triple K twin-turbo 2.2-liter inline 5 engine. When it comes to the Audi Quattro, its dominance in Group B rally had carried over to other disciplines. Audi decided to enter racing in IMSA GT in 1989 after they got banned from the Trans Am series because all-wheel drive was banned. They dominated Trans Am in 1988 and IMSA GT in 1989. Audi won 7 races and would have certainly won the IMSA championship. They only managed to settle for 3rd in the standings, losing to the winning Mercury Cougar XR7. However, Audi pulled out of IMSA after the 1989 season to focus on DTM to race the V8 Quattro, which was highly successful. So we'll have to assume the Audi 90 GTO would have succeeded the 1990 IMSA GT series if they stayed in the championship. Number 6. Mercury Cougar XR7 IMSA GTO. This car won first in class and 6th overall at the opening race of the season in the 1989 Daytona 24 Hours. It would be the start of a legendary 2-year streak of domination in IMSA GTO that was unbeatable. The Roush Racing Team drivers battled their way through the championship and won the series in 1989 with driver Pete Halsmer. Mercury clinched another championship title in 1990 to its short career of victories with driver Robbie Gordon. The car won Daytona twice and Sebring 3 times, powered by a Ford Cleveland V8. Number 5. BMW 3.0 CSL IMSA. The BMW CSL is a legendary race car and was the first to establish BMW Motorsport as a premier racing team. It is famously nicknamed the Batmobile thanks to its dramatic aerodynamics and crazy rear wing. In 1974, the BMW CSL was built to take BMW racing in the IMSA GTO class in North America. It competed against the Porsches and Ford Capris with some success. It dominated the GTO class and won the driver's title in 1975. It took home the first overall win at 12 hours of Sebring, followed by 5 more runs. However, the CSL was even more successful throughout the decade in the European Touring Car Championship. It won the series driver's title 6 times in 1973 and then every year from 1975 to 1979. The BMW 3.0 CSL was the one to beat for half a decade, and no one else could prevent it from winning championships. Number 4. Porsche 911 RSR 3.0 Group 4. Based on the 911 Carrera RS homologation car, the RSR was built in 1972 as a Group 4 race car. This is the car that dominates the endurance world when it comes to Porsche's history of racing. The Porsche Works team made significant changes and improvements to the car that resulted to become the most successful Group 4 machine of all time. It won the IMSA championship 3 times from 1973 to 1975. The team competed in the 1973 World Sports Car Championship with the 911 RSRs and achieved a historic victory. The car was so good that in 1974, Porsche began developing and building the 935, a turbocharged racing version of the 911. Although the 911 RSR racer ceased production in 1975, the RSR still raced and was the car to beat for many more years with the hands of privateer and customer teams. The factory team had left the car to the customer and private teams to add more victories in different series around the world. Number 3. Porsche RS Spider. The Porsche RS Spider marked Porsche's return to sports prototype racing, where Porsche built much of its reputation. Team Penske campaigned the RS Spider in the American Le Mans Series and quickly made a name for themselves with the car. It competed in the series LMP2 class and consistently earned podium finishes each race. It debuted in 2005 at the final race in the American Le Mans Series and won that race. Since then, the RS Spider has won 3 championships in a row from 2006 to 2008. The car also won the European Le Mans Series in 2008. However, the car was more dominant in North America. The RS Spider even won the 12 Hours of Sebring twice, and while it won the LMP2 class in 2007, it was able to outperform the LMP1 Audi R10 TDI and win overall in 2008. It was also the first time an LMP2 car won Sebring overall, since the race has become the season opener of the American Le Mans Series, which is now gone. Lastly, the car won Le Mans 24 Hours in 2008 in its class despite not winning overall. Number 2. Panos LP1 Roadster, sometimes referred to as simply the Panos LP1. This car was a successor to the Aspirante GTR1, which had competed in the GT series internationally. Panos created a front-engined LMP1 machine to be good enough to compete against the Audi R8 and BMW V12 LMR in the American Le Mans series. At the time, the new series was founded by Don Panos. The Panos LP1 debuted in 1999 at the second race of the inaugural American Le Mans Series season. The car performed well on its debut, taking 5th place. At Le Mans, 2 Panos LP1s managed to race from start to finish in their endurance debut, taking 7th and 11th overall places behind their rivals. Then, Panos was able to overcome the older cars of Riley and Scott, Ferrari, and scarcely the BMW prototypes to win 3 races and get enough podium finishes throughout the season. The result led Panos Motorsports to win the 1999 American Le Mans Series Championship with their car, merely just 2 points ahead of BMW Motorsport. Number 1. Audi R8 LMP 900. When it comes to Audi dominating sports car racing, the R8 has started it all and paved the way for future innovative prototypes. In terms of modern era race cars since 2000, no car was as dominant in sports prototype racing as the Audi R8 LMP. It was a winner from the start in the American Le Mans Series, European Le Mans Series, and Le Mans 24 Hours, the biggest endurance race on the planet. It raced competitively in the American Le Mans Series from 2000 to 2005 and won the championship each year. The R8 also won the European Le Mans Series twice in 2001 and 2004 and won the 24 Hours of Le Mans 3 times in a row from 2000 to 2002. The only time it didn't win Le Mans was because the factory-backed Bentley Speed 8 defeated Audi in 2003. When Bentley left Le Mans, the Audi R8 regained victory again in 2004 and 2005. Over a 5-year competitive lifespan, the Audi R8 won 63 total races in North America, Europe, and Australia. It's no question why this car deserves to be at the top of the list. That's a wrap for the best top 10 IMSA cars part 2. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. If you find this quality content interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos I release. You are more than happy to give me any suggestions in the comments down below. Anyways, thanks for checking in. Peace out, stay safe, Chris the Radar, out.